Hello class. So I'm going to go over the review of Unit 9, Rational and Irrational Numbers. So let's start with Part 1. We have simplify the following radicals. So simplify means to reduce. So let's look at number 1. We have 4 radical 45, which basically means 4 times radical 45. Now we want to simplify the radical, square root of 45. We want to pull out the greatest perfect square. So let's write our perfect squares. We have 1 squared equals 1, 2 squared 4, 3 squared 9, 4 squared 16, 5 squared 25, 6 squared 36, 7 squared 49, 8 squared 64, 9 squared 81. So I'll stop right there. So I'm looking at my perfect squares and I see that 9 times 5 would equal 45. So the greatest perfect square would be 9. So I'm going to rewrite it as 4 times radical 9 times radical 5. Then we have 4 times radical 9 simplified. The square root of 9 is 3. We have radical 5. And then we combine we multiply the 4 times the 3, we get 12 times radical square root of 5. So this would be our final answer. Now let's look at number 2. Number 2, we have square root of 36 plus 2 square root of 25. So let's first see if we can simplify each of these radicals. Let's start with radical square root of 36, which we know is 6 plus 2 times square root of 25. Square root of 25 is 5, so 2 times 5. So we have 6 plus 2 times 5. Now we can simplify this. 6 plus 2 times 5 is 10. 6 plus 10 equals 16. Okay, so now we have number 3. We have square root of 8 times square root of 18. So what we're going to do here, when we have radicals, we can multiply them together. So we have 8 times 18, that will be 144. And the square root of 144, that's actually a perfect square, which is 12. And that's a final answer. Now let's look at 4. 4 we have, now this one is the cube root of 1 over 27. So the cube root, we would have to find, we can find the first one first on the top, the numerator. The cube root of 1, we know that 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. Now let's look at the denominator. Cube root of 27, we know 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So that's equal. So we know that the cube root of 1 over 27 would be 1 over 3. Final answer. Okay. So let's look at number 5. 5, we have the cube root of negative 1,331, which is a large number. So let's use our calculators for this one. So we have a calculator here. Turn it on. Click on Math. And then click on number 4, which is the cube root. And now we put in our number, which was negative 1,331. Enter. And it equals to negative 11. So that would be negative 11. That's our final answer. Now let's look at part 2. Evaluate the following functions. So when it looks like to evaluate, we want to means, the value means to determine the value. So let's look at number 6. We're giving the function f of x equals square root of x minus 8 plus 3. Find the value of f of 24. So we're going to plug in our number. So we have f of 24. And whenever we have 24, we're going to plug it in where we see an x. So we have square root 24 minus 8 plus 3. And we have 24 minus 8 would be square root of 16 plus 3. The square root of 16 is 4. So 4 plus 3 equals 7. And that's our final answer. Let's look at 7. 7. If f of x equals 10 minus square root of x plus 4, then f of 12 equals, so again, we want to evaluate when x equals 12. So f of 12 equals 10 minus square root 12 plus 4. 10 minus 12 plus 4, 16. 10 minus square root of 16 is 4. So 10 minus 6 equals 6. 10 minus 4 equals 6. That's our final answer. Now let's look at number 8. If f of x equals cube root of x plus 5 minus 6, then f of 3 equals, again, we want to find when x is 3. So whenever we have a 3, we're going to plug it into our x. So we write it as f of 3 equals cube root. We're going to plug in our 3 plus 5 minus 6. Cube root 5 plus 3 equals 8 minus 6. The cube root of 8 equals 2. So 2 minus 6 equals negative 4. That's the final answer.